I am style like a rose, and this is the path that shows. And just like a flower, I will blossom to the first light. There comes the rain, then comes the cold, then comes the sunlight. I will grow, I will flourish, just like a rose.
Hello and welcome to another great episode of the Style with Roses TV talk show. Here we're always talking budding, blossoming and flourishing roses whom we mirror experiences of unique personalities that are doing amazing things, building on their passions and their gifts so they can build on entrepreneurship. This season is extra special for us because we've taken you on a journey into the diaspora. As you know, there are so many Africans that have gone to different parts of the world where they get upskilled, they understand the bigger picture of doing things, and this with a view of bringing that value back home. This is what we're doing this season, and today is no different because today I'm spending some time with Ms. Barbara Kamanga. Barbara is a hairstylist and she is a spa owner. But when you think about that, it's so easy for us to just think, oh, how easy is that? But this is an extra special gift. This woman has seen the corridors of SA Fashion Week, Cape Town Fashion Week. She has done celebrity hair and makeup for the likes of Top Billing in South Africa, having been based there for many years. She is my guest today and she is perfect in letting us know what it takes to build your passion into a business empire and skilling people back home. Don't you want to hear about that? I definitely want to. So please help me welcome Ms. Barbara Kamanga. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Miss Rose. How are you?
I am so good. Always so good to see you. See,
I'm so
I never
excited.
stop smiling when I see you, like, oh, Miss Barbs. So this is what it is about you and why we wanted you to spend some time with us, because it's very easy when we're dealing with soft skills to think, that's easy, I can also do that, but it's not that easy, right?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
But when you're not doing your serious hairstyling and makeup, as you always do, we've been together for a couple of years, and that's how I learned about your amazing story. But then the viewers need to get to know you more. But I just want to break a little bit of ice so that we can break that tough exterior, right?
Yes.
So we've got something we do on the show called the Rosie Minute, like really quickly. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Anything that just comes to mind. So the question I ask you, you just respond to me quickly, just to get to know you a little bit better.
Right.
So 1 minute on the timer. Are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
Good. What are the 3 words that describe your style?
Queen, bold, and flamboyant.
Excuse you. What's the first makeup item that you ever owned?
Oh my goodness, this is Constance Carroll powder back in the day. I'm not going to reveal my age.
Okay, Constance Carroll. Wow. I'm not going to comment. We'll come back to that later. But tell me 3 palette colors that are must-have.
Gold, black, and blush.
Oh, wow. Okay. What are the first 3 things you do in the morning when you wake up?
I pray, I brush my teeth, and I stretch.
Nice. But what are the last 3 things you do in the evening before you sleep the other side?
I make sure I have a quiet conversation with my son. I pray, and I do Instagram.
Oh, wow. Instagram, the socials. But what most notable moment in the beauty history stands out for you in Africa so far?
In Africa so far, the fact that we've been able to host international events like Fashion Week and be on the globe has been really outstanding for me.
Fantastic. And we're going to talk more about that. I want to hear about it. So, what is a must-have beauty tool that you cannot go without?
That must be my picking comb, the simple little picking comb.
What's a picking comb?
A picking comb is the tail comb. It's also called the tail comb.
Right.
The one with a long tail and small teeth.
Must have.
That's actually my logo, so I treasure it.
Fantastic. I know my best moments with your career so far, but what are your best moments in your career?
Wow, there's so many, but to be featured on a program like Top Billing and to also be backstage heading styling for ethnic models at Fashion Week.
Wow.
Yes, that stands out.
Wow, that's major. I don't know about you viewers, but I really want to hear more about this. So don't go away. We're just starting with an amazing conversation with Miss Barbara Kamanga, celebrity hairstylist and spa owner who has set up a chain of beauty salons out in Cape Town, South Africa and in Lusaka, Zambia. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Just like a rose.
And welcome back. You are watching Style with Roses. If you've just joined us, today we are joined by an amazing woman who's going to take us on a journey through the hair and beauty industry. As you know, African beauty has been rapidly growing, and the beauty and fashion industry is worth billions of dollars worldwide. So, why not talk about our own Zambian women who have been exposed in the diaspora, who have come back home to share their skills and their knowledge, of which my guest today is one of Miss Barbara Kamanga. Good now to meet you again on the couch. We had our moments earlier. So that was the light banter that we started, where it was just fun getting to crack you and get to know a little bit more about you. A little bit into the more serious stuff. Why don't you share with us what your corporate background is before you got into the hair and beauty business as an entrepreneur?
Thank you, Miss Rose. So I am a marketing and sales specialist, and I worked at DHL before I left Zambia. And when I moved to Cape Town, I joined Vodacom as a corporate solutions manager, and I worked there for about 4 years. After which I found where I was supposed to be, and this was Frika Hair. So this Frika Hair was a South African company, one of the first African companies to have their own production of hair material. So I joined as a product development manager there, and I worked there for an absolutely amazing 4 years. And this is where I now delved very deep into the industry. I got to understand trends. I got trained. So I got trained how to analyze hair, how to style and shape hair, you know, and I became an educator. So that was a big achievement for me. That is where I was dubbed a celebrity stylist, because then I started working on projects like Top Billing, Fashion Week, Mercedes-Benz, Cape Town Fashion Week, Men's Fashion Week as well, believe it or not. Really? And I've done projects with items like Cosmopolitan. Yes, so to name a few.
Wow, that's like our own Zambian girl out there representing. What is important to me and what comes out strongly for me is the fact that you had a base in the corporate industry in which you then started learning the disciplines and probably the strategy of what has helped you in terms of defining what your line of business is. But at what point did you then decide, out of this workspace, I'm now having this heaven 4 years at Frika? Was it Frika Hair? How did you connect to know that this is my passion and I want to build on it?
It was inbuilt, because I started doing hair when I was as young as maybe 9, 10 years old. I'd play with dolls and things like that. So by the time I was being churned through the corporate industry, I obviously picked up very vital skills like communication, customer service, and just decision making. And when I joined Frika Hair, I was given a portfolio that was almost new, and I had to create the portfolio. So I had to make friends in a foreign country and connect with the people and connect with the culture and actually share the Zambian culture with them through my talent. And that was very exciting because it was like a challenge every day. I influenced the sales of a whole entire organization because of my skill. So hair is a product that has to be communicated by seeing.
It's very visual.
It's very visual.
Right.
So once the hairstylist is a very important person in the supply chain or in the sales chain.
Tell that to any girl, definitely a hairstylist, and with a lot of respect, as you know. Let's not talk about saloon. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, but very exciting conversation already with Ms. Barbara Kamanga, where we're talking about the journey from corporate in the diaspora to finding your passion and making it your own salary check. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Just like a rose.
Welcome back. In case you have just joined us, you are watching Style with Roses. And this is Rose CBC, your host, hanging out with a special guest, Miss Barbara Kamanga. So this season, we're speaking to Zambians who have been in the diaspora, and they've gone out and seen the bigger picture, they've upskilled, they've been exposed to different ways of doing business. Miss Barb's is no different, and she's already shared with us her journey from the corporate space and finding her space in the hair business. So I'm just interested, something significant came up before we took a break, where you talked about rubbing shoulders and encountering award-winning celebrities, platforms such as Top Billing, SA Fashion Week, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Why would you walk away from all of that to come back home and establish at home?
It's pretty simple. Home is where the heart is, and I did all those things because I wanted to come back home a better person and give my home more of myself. So as you said, I learned quite a lot. And I achieved quite a lot in South Africa, and the momentum was really going before I upped and came back home. But for me, what's very important is to be able to share my knowledge, because knowledge is nothing if you can't share it.
That's right.
And I feel like Zambia, I always felt like, I never stopped feeling like Zambia was very talented. We have pockets of very talented people in Zambia. And the extras that I learned, I want to communicate that. Yeah.
And let's put it out there. Look, I know about the amazing space that you've created up in Rhodes Park or North Mid or wherever it is, Rhodes Park, and you've really set up this premium, very well kitted hair, beauty and spa salon, which is something you already did in Cape Town. So you had that established. Was it easy for you to shut that down? How did you dispose of it and then start all over again back home?
That was like leaving a child, you know. I started my business very, very humbly because coming out, I'm sure you know, Rose, coming out of the corporate world and saying, okay, I'm going to do hair. A lot of family members and friends were like, are you crazy?
Leaving the security to
Leaving
go and do mukule.
a nice salary to do mukule and create work with mesh.
Exactly. and they do minimize and dilute the value. I know what you mean.
You want to be a hairdresser, you know? So I started my business with blood and sweat and a lot of passion. And I built quite a very reputable salon in Cape Town. And because of my character, I love to make friends. So my clients were my friends. And, you know, to part from that was very difficult. But I still came to the promise that I wanted my Zambian women and my Zambian people to share what I had learned and also to give to them, you know, the quality that I thought they deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
And not just in South Africa where we were based. I do know that even in the UK, in the States, and all over the world, the Zambian way of doing hair is very much
treasured.
sought after.
Yes.
It's treasured. It's very expensive to actually do hair outside of your own country. So this is something we should appreciate and embrace.
And
as a growing
absolutely
industry.
respected. It's so respected. That's one thing that we need to learn in Zambia. Anyone that adds an aesthetic to your lifestyle should be respected because that's talent.
I agree. I really agree. I don't know about you viewers, but I really agree because when you talk about RESPECT, respect, we are here respecting Zambians who have been in the diaspora and they've upped and left and come back home and see how we can share the skills, the knowledge and the big picture thinking back home because we've got what it takes in Zambia to be the most creative country and Africa as a whole, we can do this. Don't go away. Exciting conversation. Let's meet after the break and hear more about Miss Barbara Kamanga's journey outside the diaspora in the hair and beauty industry. See you soon.
Just like a rose.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome back. I'm having such a hairy conversation with the ferocious and feisty Miss Barbara Kamanga. And before the break, we were talking about how the hair and beauty industry, as a billion-dollar industry, is something that needs to be respected. This is something that everybody wants. And you know, with entrepreneurship, all we need is a solution. So hair and beauty is a solution.
It is,
to women and
absolutely.
men,
Yes.
as you're attributed to when you talked about you had men as your clients too. Now, we've gone on your journey with you where you've talked about leaving South Africa and coming back home because we've got what it takes. So that's how it was. How's it going at the moment in the sense of how has it been reintegrating back home and building your base back? Has it been easy?
It hasn't been absolutely easy. It hasn't been 100% easy. Obviously, there are some things that every entrepreneur encounters when starting, because this was like starting a whole new business. The most important thing that I learned or had in mind when reintegrating was to respect the businesses that are already active in the space that I'm in. So I did not ignore doing my market research. I didn't take for granted anybody that I was targeting. I had to find out what they needed, what the market needs, and create a target and have a plan.
You have to have a plan. That's very, very true. And in having that plan, I know when we talk hair and beauty, 90% of it is attributed towards women. How do you think hair and beauty adds to the self-esteem and the wholeness that a woman should be? How do you connect those two?
You know, that question just makes me smile because You know, I see how women walk in. I see how men walk into a salon. And I see just from the minute I connect with them to the time they start to see a change. I start to see pouts coming out. Mm-hmm. And then I know, I've connected, at a deep level with this person. A hairstylist, a beauty technician always brings out the best in their clients. And that's the most important thing for me. The way you feel, obviously the way you look, but the way you feel before, for example, when you have an event to host or to manage, the way you feel before you even get to that event is what's going to set the tone for your event.
I know, I completely agree. I really, really do. And just before we even take another break, I know it's going so well, and that's how we don't really want to take a break. But I just want you to speak to the creative industry in terms of having confidence in what you do. Do you ever feel like what you do is demeaned?
Yes, in some cases I do feel like what I do is demeaned, especially before I actually meet the people that I'm dealing with and I communicate what it is. But I really want to emphasize, especially to the younger ones, that it is very important for you to respect your talent, whatever it is, whether it's hairdressing. Respect it, because the moment you respect it, you start to see different dimensions that you can add to it. You don't just become a hairdresser or a salon, You become a technician. You become a person that provides a solution.
That's right.
Yes, and you become the person that adds value to the various projects that you work on. So having respect for yourself, for your talent, and for what you contribute. And also, I just want to add that, this is a serious business. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, like you said earlier. And there's a piece of a pie for everyone, especially Zambian youth. Because like I said, there's a lot of talent sitting in Zambia, in Africa as a whole. And this is the type of talent that you can use to earn a living almost immediately. You start to recognize it. So it's very, very important.
That is just so amazing and very, very true. We have a responsibility to actually treat our own trade with a lot of consideration, respect, but most importantly, understand its value. You are watching Style with Roses. I'm speaking to Ms. Barbara Kamanga. I'm kind of feeling like I'm running out of time, but do not go away, because when we come back, the heart of the show, where we get to pass the rose. And let's hear what Ms. Barbara Kamanga has to say about that. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you've just joined us, you have missed an important conversation, but it's not too late. You can still catch up. I am hanging out with Ms. Barbara Kamanga, who is a celebrity hairstylist and owner of a chain of beauty spas, one of which she started in South Africa and now in Lusaka, Zambia. We're talking about the importance of passing on knowledge, and you passionately spoke about it's important for our younger generation to appreciate their talent and respect their gift. So I want to call you to action just on that. On our Style with Roses set, we've got what we call Pass the Rose. It's actually our tradition, and it's our form of giving back and acknowledging that each one of us needs somebody who has led the way to show us where we need to go. So I'm going to ask my assistant, Natasha, to please bring me a rose. So I'd like you to delve deep. You've done a great job through your salons, where you've empowered workers and passed on skills and developed teams that support you in your business. But there's always that little girl, the rural girl child is who we are focusing on, where we would like you to inspire them and call them to be able to step out and through your eyes, through your abilities, what you've reached, they too can become a proud billion-dollar industry participant. So can you do that for us? I'm going to hand you this budding rose, and you call out a beautiful young girl who would want to live her dream or her passion one day.
To you, the young one that's still sitting there in the village or in the rural area, you don't know what the future holds. Start from where you are. Start right there. That is the right place. This rose is for you. This rose comes with encouragement. It comes with a push. You can do it. If you're talented, whatever it is, just look within and start where you are.
And this is what it's all about. It's all about passing that rose to that young girl, that young boy who is looking out to you to see how you did it. So we've learned today how Miss Barbs did it, and what an amazing journey, what an amazing experience. Obviously, I'm testimony myself. My hair is always so beautifully done with the natural hairdos by Miss Barbs. And today we're really talking about bringing that gift back home, bringing that skill back home. But whatever it is that you're doing, especially in the creative space, never feel that it's not good enough. Because you know what? In anything you do, you must always remember to what? Bud, blossom, and flourish. So until next time, remember that as a rose, that's what you're supposed to do. This is Rose CBC after another exciting episode of Style with Roses. Bye-bye for now.
Keep on chasing that sunlight. You can flourish if you do try. Blossom, let them see you in your new shine. Shine like gold, bloom like a